Time to turn on the charm. Oh, all right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for stopping by for another show of the Game Buffet, and I am your host. Still too much food. Nothing has changed. I'm gonna stay the same. Hence why I am a Buccaneers fan, because no matter how terrible they are, I'm a fan. I'm a real fan. So today's gonna be a little bit different. For those of you who are swinging by for the first time and giving this show a chance, I am sorry, because we are doing a revisit. We're gonna look back at the Game Boy, but yet I have no Game Boy. Usually this space right here is reserved for whatever console or games or accessories that I have for this topic, but due to some confusion and apparently some misplacements, there's no Game Boy. But I'm gonna keep the show going because I studied for this, and I'd be damned if I studied for nothing, like actual education. So we're gonna get started. The Game Boy, this big, beastly, ungodly thing that you would carry around, was actually one of the biggest joys in my childhood and many others' childhoods. This thing, although big, was able to play 8-bit games. And to do that on the go, to play a lot of the games that you're familiar with on the NES console, was a big deal. It all started with one guy, Gunpei Yokoi. He's the creator of the Game & Watch. It all started when he seen someone on the train playing with his calculator, and he pretty much called it the Game & Watch because you could game on it and it could be used as a watch. And he pretty much got that from watching that guy playing on his calculator, because he was a businessman on the train traveling to wherever it is he needed to go. So he was the creator of the Game & Watch, and the successor to that was naturally the Game Boy. It was an 8-bit system using 4 AA batteries, and it had about 10 to 16 hours of battery life, which was well over its competition like the Atari Lynx and the Game Gear, which ranged anywhere from 6 to 10 hours and used 6 AA batteries. This thing was versatile, and it did everything that you needed it to. It had accessories that you could attach to it to magnify the screen, which was green and black. You had a slider on the side which would do the contrast for the console itself, so you can make it darker or lighter depending on the environment that you are in. It had a port on the side where you could do something called System Link. Now, for those of you who are under the age of 15 or 16, you may not remember, you may not even know what System Link means. It is a cable that you attach from one console to another. They called it the Game Link. And why you would do that was because you could not connect wirelessly. There was no internet-based infrastructure for this. You had to find someone with it, and you had to make a friend. God forbid, because today making friends is difficult. So back then you had to know somebody with this, and you would have to, of course, ask. You need consent before you can just attach your cable to someone else's console. So you would do that, and one game where it was famous for doing so was the Pokemon series. You had Green and Red, I believe, in Japan, and then you had Blue and Red in North America and other territories. And you would be able to trade your pocket monsters, your Pokemon, back and forth. And this thing set the Game Boy on fire. The Game Boy was doing great. It had Metroid, it had Zelda games, it had your Mario, but 2 games really put it on top. And one of them was the Tetris game. And that was mainly because in a meeting they said, look, you could have Tetris on your game and have a game bundled with the Game Boy that is for everybody. Or you could package Mario and have your Game Boy marketed to children. So they went naturally with the everybody. And that's kind of what Pokemon was. There was a time where the Game Boy wasn't doing so hot in sales, and you would think that that's just not true, because the Game Boy was immaculate. It was selling like crazy, like hotcakes, and it turned out to be the best-selling console of all time. Nothing has sold even near the amount the Game Boy has, and that number is nearly 120 million. And think about that, in the 80s, a console came out that sold that well, and in this day and age where you can grab anything, buy anything from your bed and have it shipped to your home, a used one, a new one, a traded one, the Game Boy still did best and came out on top. Now, the Pokemon game was introduced because sales at one point were slowing down, and some people were saying game over for the Game Boy, and Pokemon just, it set the world on fire. I can't explain it. It's kind of like how Pokemon Go did not that long ago, except Pokemon, the game had longevity, and it's not like the Pokemon game that they have on phones now where it was popular for a little bit. It's just a fad, you know. But Pokemon on Game Boy, that wasn't, and that is still popular to this day. People still play that exact game, and they remastered it for the 3DS. It speaks loudly of how much they believe in that game and how well that game did. The Game Boy, games aside, was a very handy console. I mean, you could play the games that you love on the go, and it fits in your pocket, and you could play for long periods of time, and you had accessories to fit the way that you play. You could attach speakers on the side. You could plug it into the wall to get other accessories to enhance the performance of the handheld console itself. The console itself has something that not even companies, billion-dollar companies right here don't even have in their current product line: a headphone jack. Like, that was incredibly useful. You could listen to your stereo sound while playing your games on your 2.6-inch dot matrix display. Like, the thought of that, especially back then, was insane. So the Game Boy line was a success, and its successor to the Game Boy line was the Game Boy Color. But before it did that, they had a couple revisions, and it was the Game Boy Pocket, which was a slimmed down version. It took smaller batteries like the AAAs, and then there was the Game Boy Light, which was a Japan exclusive. So if you ever see one, make sure you pick it up. It used illuminated technology where it lit up the back screen, and you could play in the dark, and that was the first time ever you could do that. The Game Boy Color eventually came and kind of made that whole line pointless, but it set the tone for mobile gaming and what was expected of mobile gaming. They expected low price points, and they nailed it. It was cheaper than the Game Gear and Atari Lynx. They nailed the technology. It was just powerful enough to give you the games that you love, and they gave you the games that you loved on the go. And they didn't succumb to the stress, the pressure that was being exerted on them from their competitors. They stuck to their vision, and they executed on what the gamer wanted. And that's the Nintendo that I thoroughly love and enjoy. And I don't see a company ever achieving 120 million in sales of their hardware again. That could change. We've seen some consoles achieve massive success, and then we think, could that happen again? It can, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thank you everybody for stopping by for another show of the Game Buffet. I know it was a little different not having the hardware or games here with me, but as you know, I put up in the display images and examples, and I try to show you the hardware and accessories that way, in any way that I can. So thank you again. This is Too Much Food. Thanks for stopping by for another show. Please don't forget to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Damn, dude. Yeah, my other stuff, I blow through it. Today, I'm just like,
You have some editing work to do.
yeah, like if I don't have enough. Like if I don't have enough editing to do. So, this is gonna go towards the end of my video. If you ever wondered what it's like to be me, it's very boring.